You're looking live inside Conway Field at Rafferty Stadium. It is part 2 of our Military Appreciation Day doubleheader as the Fairfield women won earlier on today against Siena here on ESPN3, and now it's the men's turn as Fairfield hosts Drexel in a CAA matchup. JJ Duke here, and alongside me is Ivy Spate. And while you see the conference standings with one win or loss per team, Ivy, in a quick conference season, this game is a super important contest for both teams. Granger off to the right, met with the double team. Lots of contact from Irons. Referee plays on, touch pass in front. Camizio's shot, she scores. Reeves trying to get around a check. Goes again with Scott, who's had a three-point quarter. Reeves will drive, and he gets it to go, and we are tied. Ever since they conceded Reynolds' second goal in the first half. Femmel in front, the shot and a score as it just finds the net on the inside of the post. Back to Mueller, he'll have a shot, and Bearing to his knees makes the save. Scott, far side Cymbalista, pass to the middle, it's a good one and it goes! It's Shane Carr on his senior day with 3:18 left, and Yale takes the lead at 9-8. Cheek looking through, pass in the middle, goes to the far side. Ardrey, the bounce shot, kicked away by Krantz. It was a shot that came from man on the far side, a scrum for it. The possession to the Bulldogs. Now on the far side, this is Michelle Schwartz, who has 3 goals in the day, driving in. Sedaris with the save. He'll look to make his move with the 10 seconds. Drives to the right, switches to the far side of field, a shot and a score. It's Nostman. It's a hat trick, and Fairfield lead 4-1 with 6.4 seconds to go. Well, right at the end of the third quarter, TJ Neubauer picked up his second goal of the game that cuts the Drexel lead to 6-4 as we enter the penultimate quarter of this CAA men's lacrosse contest. JJ Duke and Ivy Spate here with you, and Ivy, that was a big goal for Fairfield, especially getting Neubauer, their senior leader, on the board. And now if they can win the early face-off, they'll set themselves up for a prime opportunity as they do through Neubauer.
Well, Neubauer was the one who gave the Stags the momentum at the end of the first quarter with his buzzer beater, and doing the same in the third quarter with 11.7 seconds left. He's a senior, and that is what he is accustomed to.
This is Colin Burke working with Charlie Schneider. Schneider 3 assists on the day, a very good game for him. Had a career-high 5 assists earlier on this year in a victory over UMass Lowell. Funny enough, though, Colin Burke, he does have a point with an assist, but has yet to find his first goal of the game.
Well, you can make an argument that Schneider is right now the player of the game for the Stags.
As a shot from Rodriguez goes wide.
As he has set up, the Stags have 28 shots now, but only 9 of them have been on goal.
Well, when you can have efficiency coming from one man, you have to get it there. But the one thing that you bring about that stat is that's not a whole lot of shots that you can get on goal for Fairfield. That's really an average of 3 1/3 shots on target per quarter. As a loose ball on the far side, Neubauer trying to get the ground ball, which he does. And he'll set it back underneath with Burke.
Burke 0 for 10 shooting today.
He drives to the right, nearly had a step, goes up, shot, save Granito. The flag still goes, so it'll be the third man advantage for Fairfield today, as trotting off the field on the far side is number 21. That's David Byrne. So Fairfield will go back up on a man advantage to 6v5. I think this will be another 30-second call, but Fairfield, unlike the prior two, have just gotten the 1 shot total. With none being on target, they need to force Granito into a save.
Well, let's see if they do better than the last man-up opportunity. I don't think they had a shot attempt in their last man-up opportunity. So that's something that the Stags really need to get better at pretty quickly.
Well, they put it as a 1-minute foul, so that's big for Fairfield. They can really set up, as opposed to the prior 2 fouls or goes against Drexel. Those are just 30 seconds each. Pass in front, shot, score. It's Drew Murray picking up his second goal of the day off another feed from Charlie Schneider. He's got 4 dimes on the day, and Fairfield back to a 1-goal game.
Charlie Schneider has 1 goal, but he has really set up this Fairfield offense. The 4th assist today, and right there, once an assist like that, what else do you have to do but just finish? Nice job there by Murray going top corner, but it was set up once again by Schneider.
And look at the emotion on Murray's face after he scored that one. He knows how important this game is for his team because, again, with the short CAA conference season, 6 teams, a single round robin, 5 total games, a win or a loss factors big time for either team. Fairfield 1-0 with a victory over Hofstra last weekend. Drexel a loss to Towson. And how things have shaken out across the standings. A win for Fairfield ties them atop with Towson. 2 other teams would be at 1-1. That's of course saying if Fairfield were to win. But a loss for Fairfield, a win for Drexel means that there's a 4-way logjam for second place.
Well, you got to give the Stags credit. They were trailing 4-2 early on in the second quarter, and since then it's been, it was actually 4-1 at one point, and since then it hasn't been all Stags, but they have had the scoring advantage since. So they have kept Drexel off of the scoring column, and they scored 4 in the first around like 20 minutes of this game, holding Drexel to 6 total. Pretty good job there by the defense.
Drexel finally enters the attacking zone and turns off the wave of the arms of the referee. But Drexel now a chance to reestablish a 2-goal advantage. Tyler Baring with make that 7 stops on the afternoon. Granito with 6. Both goalies seeing a little bit less than their usual standard. Both are above 10 saves per contest. But they'll need to come up large here to keep things where it is. They'll go back to the top now with Marshall King.
And Drexel might have slowed things down a little too quickly. It looked like they tried to slow the game down early on in the third quarter. And since then, they only have 1 goal, and the Stags are right back in this game.
Well, Fairfield have scored 2 unanswered here. Is driving off is Manganello now. Cole Schaefer nearly lost the handle, but he's able to find an outlet with King. As a slight miss comes back here in Fairfield. A dangerous pass that's picked off by Joe Guidarelli, bringing the red faithful of the people wearing the colors of the Stags to their feet. A big slash from behind, and it's a clean one. That was Frank Fusco knocking out of the stick of Guidarelli. Ground ball still being fought for. Now comes to the near side. Big, important ground ball, nearly picked up. That was by Giorgio. And a pass ahead by Guidarelli. The referee on the near side said he stayed in. What effort there. Opportunity in front. This is board of the shot and a save by Granito. Oh, boy, in the transition. Jimmy Joe Granito, and asking for the official to wave times the helmet. The strap got broken off, but what a play there by the netminder of Drexel. Charged out of his cage and made himself big.
Well, that was the best save that we've seen all day, and well, Borda, he got it right where he wanted it, right in the center. Might have taken a little too much time on that though, and it gave Granito enough time to make himself big and make the save.
Well, I think what he was trying to do, granted it's tough to read into a mind of an athlete during a game, is he was trying to wait out the goalie, and Granito didn't move. He just made himself, as you said, bigger and bigger. But Fairfield now a chance on the attack. Murray looking for the hat trick, sitting on 2 here. Gets a couple of slashes from Miles Thomas. Well, both teams find themselves in this peculiar 1-goal position. Always these CAA games seem to go right down to the wire, and no difference here. Colin Burke underneath behind the cage. Low bouncing shot that Granito had to see go wide. It was backed up by the Stags. And you also feel kind of that little bit of tension, Ivy. You feel that one fan base or the other is just waiting to burst if something were to happen.
Well, the Stags have just got back into this game quietly. You wouldn't even have known it was a 1-goal game with the way that Drexel has been able to control the pace, but you got to credit the Stags. They have been down, but they have not been out.
Horne, the shot goes wide. That was Schneider. It was a tough angle trying for the far post. It's kept alive as Murray was the first to react to it. 5 minutes passed here. The Stags did everything right in the sense that they struck really early in that fourth quarter. They weren't waiting around and hanging around and making Drexel feel more and more comfortable in their defensive third. As now Murray will go back behind the office. underneath the crease and set up right there. He's got Horning with him. A little bit of miscommunication right there as Horning not really moving out of the way. Murray, nice spin move there, uses the screen now in front. Schneider, but the pass was too tight for him to get a shot on. So it'll work instead to Neubauer. And Burke likes to work in space if he's not behind the cage. He drives, always sailing wide and high, but it'll stay with Fairfield.
Well, the Stags 34 shots now. Now 12 of them have been on goal.
And Fairfield, after a couple long possessions, decide to use a timeout. We will take one with them. It's a one-goal ball game here in Fairfield. Drexel 6, Stags 5. Back in a moment on ESPN 3.